In this video, we will remove the following functions from the main function program and place them inside a separate Python file. We are using the same sample program where we are reading data from a file and writing data to a file using Python. But two of the functions will be removed, placed inside of another file. So by the time we finish, we're going to end up with two separate files. So essentially what is going to happen is the original source code for Python, the program that will be here, and it will contain just the main RW or whatever that program name is. It's going to contain that main function. And this is where individual functions will be stored. We can say customize function. So what we're going to do now is we put back to this sample program called sample read write exception functions. What we're going to do is take these two functions. We're going to cut them out of this program. That's the first step. The next step is we're going to open up a new file in Python or whatever editor you're using. And we're going to cut those out the main Python source code. We're going to paste them inside a new file, a new Python file. It just shows the line numbers. And at the very end, we're going to say in customized functions module. That's what this is. And at the beginning of the program, you could just put a comment and say customized functions will be stored here. Please save this file, and anytime you have to make any changes to this file, it has to be resaved. And we're going to call it custom functions. And it is saved in the same, okay, it says this already exists, probably from a previous, so I'll just call this custom functions 5, because I already have one in here from some previous program. I was probably doing another presentation. So we've just saved this as custom functions underscore 5. It contains two functions. I removed those functions from the main source program called sample read write exceptional functions program. Now, so if I were to try to run this program, it's going to give me an error because it doesn't know what check file is, check file and write file. It doesn't know what those two functions are because we took them out of this program. So if I try running the program, it's going to flag me and tell me that check file is not defined because that function is no longer inside of this program. So all I need to do is at the very beginning, the very first line of code, I'll just say import customized functions. Then the next line is going to be from customize, or custom rather, functions underscore 5. Let's make sure that that's the right file name. I don't remember that. Custom functions 5. That's this here at the very bottom. Custom function. It just says custom function. I probably should have said custom functions and made it plural. So let me change its name. Custom functions underscore 5 is going to be my file where those predefined custom functions are placed. So it will be custom functions 5. Come from custom function 5 space import asterisk. And what that says, make all the functions in this file available to this program. That's what that means. Make all the functions that are in this file available to this program. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, what are the two requirements? That we say from custom 5 import, do not add the .py. The program already knows it's a Python program. This Python program understands that it would be a Python or .py file. So from custom functions underscore 5 import, make all the functions available in this particular program. I'll say Python program. First, we save the file. Just press Control S, and now I'm going to run the file. Philosophers philosopher output. I'll just say philosopher list. Now let's go see if that file is actually there. Here it is, philosopher output. And here it is. What Python did was it created a link so that the file that we're working with, which is the sample read write exceptions function, it imported the files that were in here inside of this program and made it available. What is the advantage of doing this? Well, first of all, you can reuse the code in those custom programs in another file. That is the major advantage. Chapter 5 in your textbook talks about that, or whatever book textbook you're using, find the appropriate chapter. But on file functions, etc. So we remove the functions, and to make them available outside of the scope of this module, we had to use the import statement. So we say from the customs functions file, which the computer already knows is a Python program, import everything. The asterisk means any of those functions. And if I know the function names, all I'm going to do is reference them. And that's exactly what we did. We have one called check file and write file. Notice that the main function has to remain in the source program because it's going to be used to call the other functions. And then from there we call, that is called the mainline handler, where it handles and calls all the other functions. So what happens essentially is you have the Python source program, the main read, write, or RW function, and it is stored in the physical source program called sample read, write, exception functions, or v.py. It creates this py cache program because what it does is it goes and opens up the custom functions file, and it imports these custom functions and make them available for this program. So this PyCache, this file is created when the Python source program is executed. Python stores the compiled bytecode in _py. Let me just see if I can change this so it shows up. Add this. So you'll see the _PyCache directory so that future imports can use it directly rather than having to parse and compile the source code again. It does not have to do this merely for running a script only when a file is imported. So this happens because we imported the functions from this program to this program, and it creates this file so that when it needs to use these functions again, it is available and it can be reused. So if you were to look at directory, there's that PyCache file that was created. Here is the original Python program that's had the source code main function in there, and then here's the customized functions. It will take some time to understand what's going on, but go back and review this video as often as you need to. And let's just take a look at the main source program. You notice that the import function is in this main, where the main function is. That is the most important attribute and characteristic of this program that you want to understand. And then the other program, the custom program, is the one here that contains the customized function. And if you need to create other functions, you can just keep adding to this program and just import it into the files that will need any of these functions.